Since the beginning of time, the wealthiest and the most powerful people have built massive, imposing homes for themselves to show everyone their status. America is one of the places where you could find ridiculously large houses, from gaudy impressions of Versailles to exquisitely crafted mansions that are stunning to behold. Make sure to stick around until the end as we take a tour of the biggest mansions in America. Make sure to hit that like button to show your support, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for future updates. Pensmore, a mansion located in the Ozark Mountains near Highlandville, Missouri, that spreads more than 72,000 square feet, is still under construction. The builder and also the owner, Stephen T. Huff, is a multi-millionaire astrophysicist and ex-CIA agent who found a company that makes software for military and agency companies, which is probably the justification for Pensmore Castle's 12-inch thick exterior walls. Pensmore is being constructed as a kind of proof of concept. Huff is inventing a new kind of structure made of sustainable construction materials that are strong enough to resist fire, earthquakes, and an F5 tornado. And allegedly, due to its mountainous locations in Ozark Hills, it is free from government inspection or regulations, which is why they're able to test new solar energy systems that will power cooling and heating of the interior. Indian Neck Hall. The curiously named Indian Neck Hall was once the home of the president of Singer Sewing Company, President Frederick Gilbert Bourne. Located on the Great South Bay in Oakdale, New York, it has been reputed to be the largest estate on Long Island, occupying 75,000 square feet when it was built in 1897. The Gregorian-style home was designed by a noted architect, Ernest Flagg. The mansion was sold several years after Bourne's death, and the estate became LaSalle Military Academy. The mansion housed the school's offices on the main level and its dorms upstairs, while there was an abandoned swimming pool in the basement. Local legend says that Bourne sold the mansion to the Christian Brothers for $1 after his son drowned in the pool. Today, the mansion is now part of St. John's University. Versailles. Not the French Versailles, though. This soon-to-be-completed Florida mega mansion is modeled after the famous French chateau. The gaudy 85,000-square-foot property has been under construction for 20 years in 6121 Kirsten Lane, Windermere, Florida, in the gated community of Lake Butler Sound in Orange County, Florida. Constructed on a man-made hill on 10 acres of lakefront property, it has 14 bedrooms, 32 bathrooms, 11 kitchens, a movie theater, a skating ring, a bowling alley, indoor pools, a 30-car garage, 2 elevators for its 3 floors, one of which is gold, and a slew of other amenities. The house is a long-term project of Westgate Resorts founder David Siegel and his wife Jackie. It can be seen in the 2012 documentary, The Queen of Versailles, which documents the Siegels' attempt to build the insanely big house, and also their business dealings. Siegel sued the filmmakers for defamation, but lost and ended up paying $750,000. Meadowbrook Hall. Meadowbrook Hall is a historic home built by one of the automotive aristocracy's most remarkable women, Matilda Dodge Wilson, widow of automobile pioneer John Dodge, and her second husband, lumber baron Alfred Wilson. Constructed between 1926 and 1929, this $4 million mansion represents one of the examples of Tudor Revival architecture in America. Located at 350 Estate Drive in Rochester Hills, Michigan, and covering 88,000 square feet with 110 rooms, it features an original dining room ceiling made out of plaster by the Italian-American architectural sculptor Corrado Giuseppe Parducci. Numerous pieces of his artwork, such as Anthony Van Dyck and Thomas Gainsborough, are still located on the property, as is Tiffany Glass and Stickley Furniture. Also known as the Dodge Mansion, the structure is the 4th largest historic mansion museum in the United States and is classified as one of America's castles. The mansion, which the Wilsons lived in until their deaths in the 1960s, was donated to Oakland University in 1957. It now functions as an event space, and you're welcome to schedule tours. Winterthur. This is the home of Henry Francis DuPont, a horticulturalist who was born into one of America's most prominent and wealthiest families. The estate was named after the Swiss city Winterthur, the ancestral home of Joaquin Antoine Bitterman, a son-in-law of Irene DuPont, Henry's great-aunt and the founder of the DuPont family and fortune in the United States. It's situated on 979 acres near Brandywine Creek in Winterthur, Delaware, with 60 acres of naturalistic gardens, which can be toured by the public. Now a mansion of American antiques and art, the 96,582 square feet mansion has 175 rooms with approximately 85,000 items in their collection of 2 centuries of American decorative arts, notably from 1640 to 1860. It contains some of the most important pieces of American furniture and fine art, making it essentially a national treasure. Be sure to schedule a visit, as most rooms are open to the public on small guided tours. Arden House. Railroad magnate Edward Henry Harriman, of whom the entire surrounding town is named after, and his wife, Mary Harriman, acquired approximately 40,000 acres of land to build their magnificent 97,188 square foot home. It took 4 years to build it, but unfortunately, E.H. Harriman died just a few months after the estate was constructed. The main house is on top of a mountain, reachable by Arden House Road, outside Harriman, New York. The fruits of his labor went to his descendants, who then lent it to the U.S. Navy after the United States entered World War II. The Navy turned it into a hospital. Notably, Arden House is the first conference center in America after it was deeded to Columbia University. It went up for sale in 2010 and was sold to Chinese-backed nonprofit group, the Research Center on National Conservation, Incorporated, and they also bought the bankrupt New York Military Academy for just $6.5 million in 2011. The One. After more than 8 years in planning and construction, the Los Angeles area's most colossal home is finally ready for its official public debut. Famously known as The One, the mini shopping mall-sized estate straddles one of the highest promontories in Bel Air, spanning about 105,000 square feet of total living space. It stretches for a full quarter-mile along Stradella Road in Bel Air, looming over the street like a big white alien aircraft. As for the property's main driveway, set on a quiet cul-de-sac known as Eye-Roll Way, it's long and wide enough to put most public roads to shame. It was developed by Niall Niami, developer of ultra-high-end mansions. He creates stylish contemporary homes seen in magazines that are bought by billionaires like P. Diddy, Floyd Mayweather, Calvin Klein, and the Winklevoss twins. The One has a glass-walled contemporary showcase with a cinema-quality home theater, a beauty salon, and an Olympic-sized indoor swimming pool with lounge decks. At 6,000 square feet, the master suite is bigger than many suburban mansions. It includes its own private swimming pool and at least 2 bedroom-sized dressing rooms, both of them lavish enough to put any rodeo drive boutique to shame. There's also a 50-car garage, a 4-lane bowling alley, and a sky deck with a putting green. Oheka Castle. Also located in New York in West Hills, Oheka Castle was built by investment banker and philanthropist Otto Herman Kahn, who positioned the castle on 443 acres on one of the highest points in Long Island. Also known as Otto Kahn Estate or Gold Coast, a hamlet in the town of Huntington, Oheka is an acronym using the first several letters of each part of its creator's name. This 109,000 square foot house came at a cost of $11 million to build, and it wasn't even his main house. This is a summer home where he could hold parties and entertain the world's wealthiest and most desirable people. After Kahn died in 1934, the house changed hands several times and eventually became a military school. That same school screwed up the historical details pretty badly by changing the walls and dividing the mansion's expansive rooms. After the school went bankrupt in the late 1970s, it stood vacant and went into despair. Eventually, a developer bought it in 1984 and restored it to its original beauty. Today, Oheka Castle is a hotel, event and wedding space. Baltimore Estate. Built for the late George Washington Vanderbilt II, the Baltimore Estate is one of the most extravagant homes in the entire world and the biggest in the United States. Vanderbilt built the 250-room mansion on 700 sprawling acres that included 50 farms and 5 cemeteries and toured the world for design inspiration and antiques for decoration. The mansion took 6 years to build and required a custom-built brick kiln which produced 32,000 bricks a day, as well as its own on-site woodworking factory. Over 1,000 workers and 600 stonemasons were needed to construct the home. Today, the home is owned by George Vanderbilt II's descendants, although that doesn't include news anchor Anderson Cooper. The Baltimore Estate is open for tours. So what do you think of these houses? Would you ever want to live in any of these mansions for the rest of your life? Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for future updates. Until next time.